Okay. So, I wanted to make this video to talk about mental health. Um, I don't have any notes or anything, so I'm just kind of going off the top of my head. But where am I at right now mentally? Um, I've been streaming a lot. I really want to make streaming a career, and work right now is just really iffy. Income is really iffy. A lot of things in my life right now are very iffy, and that messes with you. I've always had depression and anxiety. I've always dealt with it. It's always been something. And I'm not saying that out of pity. It's just the truth. I've always dealt with it my entire life, and luckily I was able to actually go to a doctor and really talk about it and get diagnosed that way. I wasn't just questioning, what was wrong with me, but that doesn't take away the fact that it's still really hard. Anybody dealing with depression or anxiety, and it's a serious problem, you've been diagnosed and it's a serious problem, know that it's not forever. You're not going to feel like that forever, but those problems aren't going to go away. You just learn how to deal with them in certain ways over time. And I'd be lying if I said that I feel amazing. I really don't. A lot of things in my life just aren't good right now, and that's just the truth. I could go into details and stuff, but it wouldn't make a difference, really. Those thoughts that I get, those negative thoughts about death and stuff, and it's not like I want to die. I want to feel something other than just pain. And I'm so used to pain. And streaming it brings me joy. It I don't feel pain, of course. It's hard sometimes to concentrate and just focus on streaming, but it I don't have to worry when I'm streaming. It's my escape. Same thing with music. It's my escape. It's something that I love and I'm very passionate about, and same thing with photography. I don't have to think about all the problems going on, and car problems, family problems, just all those things. And I don't really know why I'm making this video. I just really felt like I needed to put this out there. And even though I feel really down right now, there's still a small part of me that has hope. And I think that's very important to hold on to that little part. Even if it's just that 1% that gets overpowered by those thoughts, just hold on to it. Because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm holding on by my fingernails, and I have been for a really long time. And now more than ever. That let's talk a little bit about like my experience with depression first. So I feel very distant. I don't feel like I've had a connection with anybody in a very long time, and that makes you feel really lonely. It does, and it's like this cycle, and of course you could break a cycle, but that just means that another cycle starts. There's never no cycle. There's always a cycle. There's always some repetition in everybody's lives in some way, some shape or form. And everybody always says like, oh, you have to break the cycle, but you're just going to create a new cycle with that. And yeah, you can feel that new cycle with positivity, but it doesn't take away the fact that those problems are still there, and as much as I try to stay positive and push through everything, and that's what I've been doing every day, and that's what I've been trying to tell myself every day, is to not give up. Those thoughts get stronger and stronger. And I may sound crazy to a lot of people, and I hope that there's some people out there that can relate to what I'm saying, that can understand, and, maybe feel, I guess, less alone, as cliche as it sounds, but I'm putting this out there because I know how lonely it feels to be going through the stuff I'm going through and to deal with a lot of the mental problems that I do. I know how lonely that makes you feel. And I know how impossible the most basic things in life can feel, like brushing your teeth, just getting up without even having a purpose for so long, not knowing what the hell you're doing. You're almost in the autopilot, and there's no connection to the world or anything around you, and that makes you feel really lonely. And I just want, maybe if there's one person listening to this, I hope that one person, if they're going through the same stuff, to know that you're not alone in these feelings. And I wish I was told that. I wish that, I had someone to tell me these things. And I hope that if there's someone out there experiencing this stuff and they've never been told this, I hope that maybe this changes your perspective on life. Because at the end of the day, it all depends on your perspective. Right? It all depends on how you look at it. You can look at life as in half empty glass, or you can look at it as a half full glass. It all depends. But there's a lot of variables that go into it, because nothing's ever that simple. Now let's talk about anxiety. My personal experience with anxiety is probably similar to a lot of other people, but that's the thing. It feels like it's only you experiencing that. It could be that I wake up one morning and I feel like my whole world is crumbling because I'm thinking of all the problems and little things going on, and they consume you. Any positive thoughts you have is just thrown out the window instantly. And it sucks. But you have to live with it. It's a part of your life, and the feeling of not being safe in your own skin and your own mind is the scariest feeling you can probably ever experience. Worrying about whether you're gonna have another panic attack or not it's not a good feeling. And it makes it sometimes nearly impossible to just focus on basic things in life, like taking care of yourself, making sure you're eating right. I know I've gone weeks where I just don't even think about myself because I'm too anxious and worried about everything else going on, and I'm worried about whether I'm gonna get a panic attack or not, and me worrying about that, I get a panic attack. And it's like, feels like a cycle that can never break. That's what it feels like. No matter how much you try, it just really doesn't feel like it's ever gonna break. And back to what I was saying about, like, wanting death but not in a suicidal way. And I feel like a lot of people misunderstand, like, suicidal thoughts and actual, like, being suicidal. Right, because I've dealt with suicidal thoughts my whole life, and it's not like I have, had points in my life where I genuinely wanted to die. And, thank God that, I'm not dead, I'm still here. I never would have pursued streaming if I was dead. computer just turned off. And my camera's frozen. Sorry about that. My computer just froze. But back to about suicidal thoughts and stuff. It's a lot different from being actually suicidal, right? I don't want to die. I don't want to be in 6 feet under, but I'm not living. I'm just existing. I'm not living life, and I haven't lived life. It really never feels like I have, because I've always been too worried about things going on and whether I feel happy or not. And honestly, I forgot what it genuinely feels like to be genuinely happy. I've been telling myself that I can be happy if I just put a smile on my face, but I mean, that just feels like I'm faking it, And I feel like if you fake it and you approach people like that, you're never gonna have that connection with people because there's that fake barrier that you put up, and then that just creates more problems. It's like people connect with that fake smile that you put on because that's what attracts people is happiness and then that positive vibes. Nobody's attracted to the negative thoughts and stuff, but that's real, that's raw. That's real shit, and I feel like it's sad that it's hard to be real nowadays because nobody wants to be real anymore. And that just makes it harder to have a connection with anything or anybody because nobody wants to be your friend when you're down. Nobody wants to connect with you whenever you're down, and everybody just wants to be there whenever you're feeling good and you're doing good and stuff. And I get that, but at the same time, it's like, how are you supposed to connect with anything if you can't be yourself? And nobody wants to accept you for yourself. Maybe I'm just rambling on, but I don't know. That's just how I feel. And I hope to overcome my mental problems at some point in my life. I really do. I hope to be financially stable at some point in my life. I hope that, it's not even what I hope for. Being financially stable, then yeah, that's good and all, but what's the point in having all this money if you ain't even happy? You feel so alone. What the hell is the point? That's really where I'm at. Like, I don't get what the hell the point is of feeling miserable your whole life just to enjoy the last 5 years of your life, quote unquote, enjoy retirement. Like, I feel like a lot of the ways that people go about life, it just doesn't work anymore, and it doesn't work for everybody. Same thing with schooling. Like, some people are good at tests and some people are good at doing homework. Some people are good at doing presentations, but everybody's different. And I feel like society tries to fit you inside of this little box and expects you to succeed and grow just like everybody else, but everybody has their own ways of growing and succeeding, and certain things bring joy to certain people, and I don't know, I feel like for the longest time society just tries to fit me into a certain category, a certain box, and I don't want to fit in there. I don't want to fit in a box. And doing so, it makes you feel even more lonely because nobody wants to be outside the box. Everybody rather fit inside that box because it feels comfortable, and it's what everybody knows. You know, as soon as you say you want to follow your dreams or do this or do that, you know, for me it's live streaming, it's YouTube. I want to make content, you know, I want to build a community, you know, I want to, because I've seen the communities that Twitch and YouTube have built, and they're amazing. And there are some amazing individuals that I have met, and I'm so glad that I have met them through these communities and these streams and videos. And I know that I want to be a part of it, you know, and there's a lot of things holding me back from wanting to do a lot of the stuff I want to do, but those are little setbacks, and that's what I have to tell myself. But then there's always those thoughts. Those thoughts never go away. You know, it's like the more you pursue your dreams and the more you pursue what you want to do, the more lonely you're going to be, and that's what I've noticed. You know, the less people believe in you is almost a sign of showing how you're doing what you want to do. You know, and right now I feel the most... Okay. And right now I feel the most disconnected from anybody. You know, I have friends, but I don't feel like, you know, anybody really understands me, and maybe that's my fault because don't even understand myself. You know? And maybe none of this made sense. But I just felt like I needed to make this video, and I hope it's not too long, and I hope that maybe someone got something from this. You know, whether this helps me just getting this out or it helps someone else, changes their perspective or something, you know, I hope that it helps somehow. But the one thing I really wanted to get across. You too. So, I wasn't really gonna talk about it, but, well, that was my great grandmother, you know, she raised me, wonderful woman. She got diagnosed with dementia earlier this year. And, you know, not too long after that, I went through a pretty hard breakup, and just the combination of that, let's just say it's not fun. Let's talk about dementia a little bit. You know, dementia it tears not only the person having it apart, but it tears everybody around them apart. You know, it changes them when they don't even understand it and realize it. You know, you see someone that you loved and have looked up to for so long, and they're just different. You know, they're it's not their fault. You know, and you get to a point where you have to lie to them to protect them from themselves. And that fucks you up. You know, I'd be sitting here lying if I said I was doing good and I'm strong, and it's fucked me up. And it still is. You know, and living with her, and she's all I've ever known, and now that it's like she's a different person and I can't have conversations with her anymore. You know, that hurts. It affects you a lot. You know, and on top of me already not feeling a connection with anything, and the one person that I was really close to now is no longer really there. not really that person anymore. And so, going through that breakup, it's like, I had one person that I was really close to, and that, that was gone. And how I lost my grandma, she's still alive, she's still here, don't get me wrong, she's still my grandmother and I still love her, but she's different. I can't talk to her about my problems or anything, and I'm gonna start going to therapy again, just for the fact that I need to let this shit out. Holding all this shit in, it it tears you apart, and I call myself a bitch a lot, and I'm pretty hard on myself. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of trying to act like I'm strong and I'm doing okay when I'm not. And that's makes it even harder for people to connect to me, because nobody wants to see me when I'm down and low. Nobody wants to be around someone that's negative and stuff, and I get that, but it's my reality. It's what's going on, and how are you supposed to talk to your friends about that? I don't want to drive them away and because I'm too problematic or something, I'm too negative, there's too much going on, I have too many problems. I don't want to drive away the only people I have left, and and I'm blessed to have my friends that I still have now, but I don't know, I guess that's all I really gotta say. Just I don't know, whoever's watching this made it to the end. Thank you for just listening. I hope that anything I said maybe someone can relate to. I hope that this is maybe a step forward in the right direction to getting better and less pain. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna leave it at that.